Hey guys, welcome to the next tutorial in our series, and we are gonna create some barriers for our already terraformed habitat. So let's get on to it. I think this is pretty straightforward. You just select the barrier you want and plop it down. In case you want some boxy stuff, you can turn on angle snap. It also is helpful when you're creating just a very long barrier which you want it to be straight. You see it angles snapped. I think that's self-explanatory, but there's more magic to it. For example, here we have this hole, so if we select height mode undulating, the height of our barrier will remain the same. However, if we go for the flat top, the height of the top will remain the same regardless of the bottom. So that's probably what we want here to make it straight. Now there's more to it. If you select the flat top and editable bottom, you see that when I plop it down here, it actually follows the bottom as well and goes beyond the terrain. That might be good in case you want to have some sunken barrier and you know that you're gonna change the terrain. Now if we just subtract the terrain here, we go to push, you see we still have the barrier there. There's no gaps, right? So we probably go for the flat top here and then finish up. Now there are a lot of types of barriers, and before you start, I strongly suggest you look at the Zoopedia, and based on your animal you might need to check the requirements. For example, this aardvark requires at least grade 2 of resistance, more than half meter height. That's not much, so you have a lot of options. For the African elephant, grade 4, more than 2 meters height. That might get more interesting. And then for the apes, it's even more complicated. You need some climb proving. We will look at that more later. Or you can do the water hole, but it has some requirements as well. So check the Zoopedia and then you can select. I went with the concrete one, which has nice feature that it can be recolored to some green, for example, if you like green. It has also options that it don't necessarily have to be straight. Is the first option here. You can go for straight or curved selection. Just turn off the angle snap, and then you can turn in some interesting angle. Some of them does not have this option, for example wood logs, but there's a trick. If you select existing curved barrier, you can change it to whatever you want regardless of the type and if you can do it or not. So that's good to know. Now the changing of the existing barrier, you just select parts you want to change and you can adjust height with this button, and you can adjust for whatever you select, dragging with these arrows, or you can select just one section and change the height of one section only, like this. You can also drag the poles with this button on the bottom, or you can add the another section with the plus button. Now I will go a little bit back because it's getting a bit weird now, and we will finish up with the concrete wall. Right here I would like to be curved. Now here I already have this sort of a hill which will serve as a natural barrier, and I will show you later on. Now let's get this water viewing done. We will start with really small and straight section of a concrete wall. Let's give it closer to the edge. Make sure that the second pole is in the bottom of your intended lake, and then we're gonna change to the curved sections. We're gonna make it longer and obviously a glass. Now as you can see, the direction is straightforward, so we can bend it around. Now let's bend it a little bit. If you hold Z, you can actually change the bend. So we're gonna go maximum bend here, and once more, and finish up with the concrete one. And what we now got is pretty nice underwater viewing. Let's try to give it a water. Please. Yes. I think this is going to work perfectly. Let's continue. I wanna make some more interesting barrier here, I think. Instead of concrete, we're gonna go hedge. Yes, that's nice. Hedge is nice, just to block our guests from viewing from this point. We want them to use our viewpoints. We go to undulating now, and let's go with the null barrier. Now let's talk with about the null barrier, what it actually is. It's not an actual physical barrier. As you can see, the animals can easily walk through the null barrier, so it's rather a way how to tell the game where the barrier of your habitat is, while you are using something else as a barrier. We'll finish off, and I'm gonna show you quickly. Let's just say we're gonna have some building in here, so we go to constructions and create a concrete wall just here. That's fine. You don't need to create a concrete wall in front of this already concrete wall, so you just use the null barrier to let the game know that there is the end of your habitat. You can use various things, even the nature. So if we go to rocks, we can use some rocks. Let's use a big rocks. And create this little block of rocks so that our animals could not escape in here. Once again, we run a null barrier through it, and it blocks the animals. There are one more very nice options I want to talk about, and it's the water. As you can see, we once again run the null barrier through it, and this water will prevent any chimpanzees, bonobos, basically any animals that can swim from escaping, and you don't need to have those ugly concrete walls in there. Now if you are going for the apes and you're going for those ugly walls anyway, then I might tell you, let's go for the wood logs here, because that is not climbable. If you use just the concrete wall, you're fine, because that is not climbable, but the logs are. So you go to the advanced settings in the bottom right corner, and you go with the climb proof. Just make sure that the climb proof is in the inside, because otherwise it won't help you and make it tall enough for your animals not to escape. Right? So I think right now we are in a good shape to get our animal in. So we've got a very nice hippopotamus in here. As you can see, he's doing nothing for us, which I think is pretty realistic, right? And then I gotta be honest, I tricked you a little bit, because we are actually going to have two habitats in here. As you can see, I plopped a null barrier along the edge of this mountain, then a steel mesh so that our hippopotamus does not leave the lake to this water feed through, and we have two habitats, one for the hippopotamus, and the second one, you probably guessed it, there is going to be a little ape here. It's bonobo. So let's look how we are doing regarding the traversable area. Go to heat map, and the second one from the left, you can see the traversable area for the monkey is pretty good. He's got enough navigable and area and no escape point whatsoever. Now let's try the hippopotamus. And once again, I think we are in very good shape. There's a lot of space, lots of swimming area, and the view from our underwater viewing should be excellent, except the hippopotamus is not cooperating. Never mind, I think we went through everything important in here. We've looked and used various shapes and various types of barriers. So now you could make your own habitats more interesting than just those boxy shapes. And next tutorial will be about paths, which can be a pain sometimes, but I think there's some magic to it, and I'm gonna try to show you how. So stick around and see you in the next one. Bye.